What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. Links in the description below. Check them out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's actually not talk about Splinterlands specifically, but the SPS Dao. So what I want to focus on is this recent Hive pump that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. I mean, everything's pumped really since the end of the election, November 5th. You can see here we kind of bottomed out right around November 5th at 17 cents. And we are now up over 2x, right? From 17 cents over to 43 cents. So obviously everything is up. Everything's looking good. We're feeling like there could be an alt season around the corner, or maybe alts are starting to perform better. But why does this matter for Splinterlands, and specifically, why does this matter for the SPS Dao? Well, if for those who either were not here or if you don't remember, the SPS Dao converted a good portion of its ETH as well as some USDT, USDC into Hive back in August. Now, the DHF proposal, right, we were asking the Hive decentralized fund for money for marketing, which we've already started using and deploying back in July. And it wasn't until August when the Splinterlands DAO, right, in conjunction and after conversation, collaboration with some of the Hive whales, discussed converting some of our DAO assets to the what's that called, to Hive, and staking essentially 1 million Hive. Now here's the thing, so it was like mid-July, July 15th is when Matt posted that DHF proposal, and then it was mid-August, so it was like a full month later that we had the SPS proposal to actually change or swap the tokens, and that took about a week. So it was like August 22nd that the proposal passed, and then it was shortly afterwards. But again, I'm just trying to give a rough timeline here. Basically, what I'm trying to look at is how are the returns? Well, I'm going to show those to you. How are the returns so far, and what does this mean, and what should we be doing with the SPS DAO? Because this is a conversation that I've been trying to start. If you've heard the last couple of videos, I think it's important for us to do so, and I'm going to continue pushing this as we get further on into the bull run, just because I think it's, well, I'll get more into it later. So you can see here, okay, so mid-July, Hive was actually over 20 cents, but this is not the time frame I want to look at. So we were at 22 cents on July 15th. That is when Matt posted the DHF proposal. But once again, we didn't make the swaps until mid to late August. So August 15th, we were at 17.8 cents. And then actually, when this might be the Splinterlands pump here. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. It was August. No, this couldn't be. August 22nd is when the proposal passed. So shortly after that is when we started buying Hive, right? We were selling ETH or selling USDT and buying Hive. And you can see here, we were at 19 cents. I mean, I don't know, maybe this, little spike up here to 20 cents is when we bought. I'm not exactly sure on when the dates were, but it was around this time, 19, 20 cents, maybe even, going back down into this dip. So either way, we are up more than 2x now, considering that Hive is at 42 cents, and hopefully will continue to climb. It's been looking fantastic. Now, for reference, let's take a look at the ETH pool. Oh, that's not the right one. So here's Ethereum, the full year on Ethereum. Now, if we had sold ETH around that time, mid to late August, right? It was around 2,600. Maybe we even sold on this pump 2,700, right? Maybe we sold a little bit after, got down to 2,450, right? So all around this time frame, we sold and we drove the price of ETH down just with our SPS DAO. Yeah, right. Okay. So point being that ETH is now what, 25? We'll just say 25 to 2,600. We are up to 3,800, 3,900. We actually crossed 4,000 recently. So that's obviously not a 2x. I can't do the math exactly on my head, but again, these numbers are fluid, right? So if we went from 2,600 to 3,900, for example, that's a 50% gain. So we're only at about 50% versus over 2x, over 100% for Hive. So far, this has been a fantastic trade for the DAO. The DAO has done better on it. And this is where I think it's important to start this discussion. Okay, so now that the DAO has essentially 2x'd that allocation, do we go back into ETH? Do we go back into stables? And as I mentioned earlier, the broader conversation is, when do we start to take profit? Now, you can look at it as taking profit or, reclaiming our ETH position if we would like to. But I'm also considering, like, we were planning on selling ETH at the high anyway in order to secure some stables, right? This is the point at which we want to consider to start taking profits. And the fact that Hive so far is outperforming ETH, again, not this is all relative, right? So if I say outperforming ETH, it's not outperforming ETH on the aggregate, right? Hive, like if you look at the if you look at the 1 year, it's awful. ETH is up 64% on the year. Hive is up 10% on the year, but it's relevant, and it's relative only to when we bought, which means that we are up 2x on our investment, as from the DAO perspective. So what I would like to see is, since we're holding this Hive, I don't think we're just going to go and like massively, dump all of the Hive that we have. I don't think that would be the right move either. And especially considering that we've staked, what is it, 1 million Hive. It's going to take 13 weeks, which again is another reason I would say it's probably worth considering taking some risk off the table. Now, there's ways that we can, do some of that maybe a little bit earlier, right? I think that the DAO can essentially like delegate, and I think it is delegating some of its SPS elsewhere, or it can delegate some of its SPS, or sorry, not SPS, Hive elsewhere, and then receive, right, the delegation kind of rewards for that from other accounts that are better or bigger curators. And then that would be liquid Hive, at which point we could, flip that back into HBD or USDT. And actually, I want to say this. When it comes to stablecoins and taking profit, I don't think holding HBD is a bad idea. We want to stay and support the Hive community, but we want to de-risk, and we want to be able to have capital to use in the future to spend on things. Now, in the future, they may not, the Hive community may not like the fact that we're spending a bunch of HBD or selling HBD to fund maybe future projects, but at least if we we only have like 100,000 HBD right now, I think or at least that was the last that I checked. I think we can definitely up that a little bit and start taking profit there. So again, I'm not saying that we need to start taking profit right now. I'm not saying we need to start unstaking Hive, but we are up on the investment. And I don't want to get greedy, right? I want to recognize that at some point we want to buy back, hopefully into ETH if people believe in ETH. I think that the DAO should actually own more Bitcoin, but again, that's an aside. My main point here is the fact that we should be looking to de-risk at some point and either reclaim positions, right, with ETH, make new positions such as Bitcoin, right, if we take profit into Bitcoin, or just take profit back into stables. And we need to have that conversation, I think, sooner rather than later. So, right now is maybe not the best time from like a calendar standpoint, right? The team is essentially going on break soon. It's the holidays. So this is something that I think should be on the docket for maybe early January. And who knows, right? The entire crypto situation could look entirely different by early January if Bitcoin has another very, very strong month, and especially going into the inauguration next year and all that stuff, right? I want to have that conversation sooner rather than later. So I apologize, guys. That is an alarm for something completely unrelated. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. It is it is a good reminder to end this video here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, I think that this is a good thing overall. I'm not trying to say that, sell like whatever. I don't believe in Hive. I don't believe in ETH. Like at this point, Hive is showing actually fantastic signs of life. And I would love to see Hive get more and more coverage, to get more, exposure to other things, and hopefully, maybe bring some other projects along that can really, hammer out this ecosystem into something bigger than just Splinterlands and blogging and whatever the case is. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.